So find a nice cozy seat or posture laying down just for our introduction before we start our shamatha meditation technique. And we'll take a couple moments to allow ourselves to arrive, to come to our center within. So take a moment to gently release the day you've had. And also let go of anything that's left to do today or for the rest of the week. And truly take a moment to give yourself permission to be here now and to be here fully for our time together. So you showed up, you made it, you arrived. And give yourself the blessing to be here fully. And as we're here, I would like to share a quote with you today, and feel free to either continue to listen with your eyes closed or you can just watch me. But the quote that I have today, and maybe it's a theme for the week or just something to think about for right now, the quote is this: "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love." I'll read it one more time. When you arise in the morning, think of what a privilege it is to be alive, to think, to enjoy, to love. And this is a quote by Marcus Aurelius. And just take a moment to possibly reflect on that quote and what it means for you. To me, this quote embodies deep gratitude. So for me, when I read this quote, it brought up the idea of every morning taking some time to be grateful for maybe even what seems to be simple, being alive, thinking, being able to enjoy and to love. So I'd like to invite you, before we start our meditation, to maybe bring to mind or to your awareness some things that you may be grateful for right now. So whether it's big or small, something mundane or something out of the ordinary, what are you grateful for today? And come up with a couple things or just one. And just notice how whatever you're grateful for makes you feel. So maybe if you take a moment or two to ponder on one thing, maybe reflect back upon your life before you had this thing you're grateful for in your life. And reflect upon what it has brought to you currently. When we begin to reflect upon things we're grateful for, and especially when we kind of rewind our lives to before we had that thing in our lives, to me it gives me a sense of groundedness and ease to know that anything that maybe I'm working for or do want is on its way as well. And when we can find ourselves in this in-between state where we're grateful for what we have, yet excited for what's to come, then we can find peace rather than forgetting about everything that we do have and things that have shown up, things that we did want at one time that are now here. If we don't forget about that stuff, we find ourselves enjoying what we did once want, yet still excited for the future. We can find this equilibrium, peace, and ease. So if you find yourself as you go throughout this next week, maybe yearning or pushing or forgetting about what you do have right now, maybe you take a moment each morning or before you go to bed to just be grateful, to be thankful for what you do have, and really bring those items, those things, people, places, whatever it is, to your mind and your awareness, and meditate on it for a couple moments. So that's my little thought for the week for you. Let's jump into our meditation. So if you are laying down, gently come up to seated. Find a nice either cross-legged seat, hands rest down on the thighs or the knees. If you're in a chair, preferably knees directly over the ankles. I'll set our timer for us as we begin. If your eyes are closed, gently peel them on open and find somewhere to look on the ground ahead of you, anywhere from 3 to 6 feet ahead of you. Begin to bring your awareness towards the base of your body. Relax your feet and soften your legs. Allow the sits bones to rest down towards your seat. Let the bottom half of your body get grounded and heavy. From this base, begin to lift up through the back body, stacking every vertebra one on top of another, creating a strong, tall back. And allow your shoulders to rest easy down your back body. Allow the elbows to hang by the sides as the palms rest heavy on the legs. Soften your chest and your belly. Allow the front body to simply open up. Continue to lift through the neck, the back, the sides, and the front so the chin's parallel with the ground beneath you. Crown of the head reaches up towards the ceiling, keeping the head soft, balanced, and light. Relax your forehead, soften the eyebrows. Allow the eyes to relax towards the skull. And imagine as though there's an infinite horizontal line in front of you that you're trying to see as much as you can as possible. So soften the gaze. Rather than trying to stare at one point, just let the visual field in through the eyes. Relax the cheeks and the jaw, soften your lips, the teeth, and float the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Begin to connect with the feeling of every inhale and exhale. Maybe you notice the feeling of the breath in the nostrils. Maybe you feel the breath along the back of the throat or in the chest. Maybe you notice the breath in the core of the body, the rib cage or the belly. Tune in. Where do you feel the breath most prominently? Now it may be multiple areas or just one, but follow the lengths of your inhales and exhales, feeling the full extent of each. And as you're here, the mind may wander, and that is okay. Our practice is not keeping the mind with the breath. It's returning. It's a practice of coming back. It's a practice of noticing when the mind takes us away and returning the mind to the task at hand. So if thoughts bubble up, yet you're able to stay with the feeling of the breath, just let yourself be as you are. Let that go. If thoughts arise and you begin to think and you're taken out of the feeling of the breath, you forget about it completely. In that instance, we'll label it thinking and simply come back to feeling the breath. No matter what happens throughout your practice, this is practice. We're practicing bringing the mind back every time it trails off. Try your best to let go of judgment, let go of what you feel like should be happening, and be compassionate with yourself. Find grace and ease within the practice, and let yourself simply be. Take the next couple of moments to practice this technique. Feel the full extent of your inhales and exhales. And when your mind takes you away from the breath completely, simply navigate back to feeling the breath. Gently draw your practice to a close. Take a couple moments to just be in your body. Maybe you wiggle or twist side to side. Maybe you close the eyes. Maybe you give yourself a couple neck rolls. And eventually we'll meet up with the eyes closed and palms touching at heart center. Notice how you feel right now. Draw your awareness to the mind, the head space. Notice how it feels. What word describes the state of your mind right now? Gently draw your awareness to your body and notice how it feels. What word describes the state of your body? And tune into your emotional well-being. What emotion do you feel right in this moment? And just notice, become aware, and let it be. And gently give yourself a big old smile and really thank yourself. Express deep gratitude to you for showing up here this evening, for dedicating your time to tuning into yourself, to just being, and to allow yourself to come fully to the present moment. Thank you very much for sharing your beautiful energy and practice with me here tonight. The light in me truly honors the light in you. Namaste.